A very pleasant good evening to everybody. We welcome in our viewers here tonight as we talk a little ACU football. It's the inaugural edition of the Eye of the Storm podcast with my co-host here, Ed Cole. Privileged to be with the victorious head coach, Jeff Bowen, as his team in one way or the other, whether it was a miracle or not, but they came down. They were down 28-7 at one point. They were down 35-14 when the fourth quarter began. And you got a safety to get things going for you, Coach. But tell us what happened and what was the feeling like to see this thing come to fruition?
Yeah, I really couldn't even answer that question. I don't know what flipped it. Our guys just I've said it to them after the game, the resiliency and the character that they showed today was just amazing. They stuck together, they stayed in the fight. And just tried to make plays one play at a time to try to get back in it. And then once it started snowballing, our guys just had some belief. And, next thing you know, we pull off the greatest comeback in ACU history and the biggest comeback of my coaching career.
Just wonderful.
Just incredible, Coach. Outscoring OUAZ in their own building, 38-7 in the second half. Just an absolute bum rush in the second half. Just an incredible turn of events from one half to the other.
Well, our defense just kept giving us chances. I mean, they ran a lot of plays, and they had, they were making plays, but they're keeping them out of the end zone and getting us the ball back. And we actually missed on a couple opportunities. And then, but our guys didn't get discouraged, and then the defense was just lights out. I think they finished with like 70 yards total in the second half or the fourth quarter with negative 10 yards rushing. And most of that came when we were in a prevent the last two drives, just trying to keep them from scoring quick. But then the offensive line settled in and we got the ball rolling and running the ball and props to Shea Morales, our backup quarterback. He's kind of been thrown into the fire the last 2 weeks, and he's settled down and made some big throws there in the second half. And, just really proud of the overall effort from the team and the coaching staff.
It's really amazing, Coach. You talk about snatching victory out of the jaws of defeat. You do this, and to think at some point you're down such a large margin, but you just mentioned right there, you finished the game in a prevent defense. I mean, who would have thought at any point in your consultation with the entire coaching staff that we're going to be in a prevent when this thing's all said and done, so it's not going to matter. But there were so many pivotal plays and turning points, and the balance of your offense, Coach, has been just unreal. But I do want to touch back on that defense. Right after the safety, you're down 35-16. And then maybe the play of the game, really, again, there were so many to pick from. But Riley Tucker comes up, big hit from Maurice Powell on Shamar Moreland, their star tailback. Ball's loose. And like you said, lo and behold, down the sideline, Riley Tucker goes. He houses one, maybe the turning point of that game. But what was that moment like for such an incredible young man who's grown up defensively and had a real long week and played with a heavy heart, as you mentioned?
It definitely was a turning point because that got it to a two touchdown game. It gave us a chance with a lot of time left in the fourth quarter, and it was a big hit by Maurice Powell, and Riley picked it up, and I don't know how he got it in the end zone. Guys were just trying to pick up blocks, and he kind of weaved his way through there, punched it in, and all of a sudden we got even though we're down 2 scores, we got momentum, and our guys are excited, and that was definitely the impetus to carry on and do what we did the rest of the fourth quarter.
Coach, your defense has been so stingy, especially once we started back up in February, holding Langston to 139 yards of offense, OPSU last week to under 200 yards, and as you said, in the fourth quarter today, just 70 yards of offense. What is it about your defense that makes them so bullish and so hard to do anything against from an offensive standpoint?
This is going to sound really boring, but we've talked about it. It's doing the ordinary things exceptionally well. It's nothing spectacular. It's lining up right, understanding their alignment and assignment, and then just run like heck to the football. Play with that type of mentality. That's what football's all about. It's about blocking and tackling, and our defense is doing that. at a really proficient level. Is it perfect? No, but that's the beauty of it, is if we continue to hustle and work our way to the football, it's covering up the mistakes we are making. So the guys are just excited. They love playing with each other. The defensive staff is doing a great job putting the game plans together. And, they're just playing lights out, giving us a chance to win.
Coach,
Kevin,
one of those players. Oh, pardon me.
Kevin, before you go on, Kelly McPeck is on. Do you want to bring him on or wait until you want to bring him on with Coach?
In a couple minutes, if we could, just finish up with JB.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll bring on Kelly. I mean, why not? Let's get them all together. Let's have some fun.
Want to bring him on now? Okay.
JB, I just wanted to mention, you talk about playing through adversity, and one of those teammates that's been selfless along the way is Jacob Hernandez. Now, we understand that Jacob had surgery on his hand. He's cast it up. He's playing in this game, made a few plays for you, but just the inspiration of him being on the field, another leader, your leading tackler, it was nice to have him out there.
Jake has always been a key for us on defense. I mean, last year he only played half the season. He still finished fourth on our team in tackles. He's a sideline to sideline linebacker that can make plays. And if he didn't have that big club on his hand, that game would have been over earlier in the fourth quarter because he batted 2 balls instead of being able to pick them off. So, he's a huge part of what we do, and he's one of those instinctive linebackers. He just has a nose for the ball, and he's always going to be around it.
And let's welcome in Kelly McPeck. Kelly, congratulations on the win, and what a performance for you. We wanted to bring you in, have a chat with Coach Bowen. He's on with us, and let's take our opportunity now to talk about this rushing game. Kelly, very instrumental in this, obviously, in pass protection as well, but big day for Shea Morales, again, 273 through the air, but it's the running game that has really emerged in the last couple of weeks in a big way. You get some new players, Coach. Tyrese Golar joins the club, Cole Davis, Alex York. What has it been like to add this kind of talent at this point in the season and to see them unleashed in a big way behind the big fella on the right side, Kelly McPeck?
Well, the offensive line is really, really meshed. I mean, they played well in the fall, but they're taking it to a different level here in the spring, and I'm really proud of those guys. And we know what it's like to be an offensive lineman, but to be able to punch out holes, and then the new guys have come in and just fit in, and it's beautiful because we got 4 or 5 running backs that we can just roll out there right now, and they all have their own strengths, and it's exciting to see what they're producing each week. One week it's Cole, Ty went off today, and so did York. York made a couple huge plays for us there in the fourth quarter. So they're all contributing, and the line's just doing a great job up front.
And all your backs are versatile too, right? You're just getting great production, receiving and running the ball.
Yeah, I mean, York, a couple of his plays today were not running the football. He caught the ball out of the backfield for a big play, and then the touchdown to take the lead was actually a repeat of what he had done earlier, and we just came back to it and hit it again, and he's in the end zone. So they're all contributing, which is huge. And we threw it to 11 different receivers today too. So
unreal.
Shea did a nice job, settled down. It's always tough. I mean, the quarterback's the hardest position on the field because you just got so much to do to run an offense. And, Shea is responding well, and I'm really proud of him.
Well stated, Coach. I agree 100%. He has just been outstanding. We know we joke about it in many cases, but baptismal by fire right here. Shea Morales has answered the challenge for sure.
Yeah, he has. And, I'll be honest, I'm not the easiest guy to play for at the quarterback position. You see Kel laughing a little bit there. But I tell you what, I love my guys. I love the quarterback room. Losing Tyler really hurt. But for Shea to step in that role and keep things going has been impressive, and I'm really proud of him.
Kel, what's he talking about right there? What he talks about, he's a little bit, a little challenging to work with the quarterback sometimes. What's that experience like for you?
I don't think it's just the quarterbacks. I think he just wants answers. I mean, there's a couple of times there where the O-line thought we're doing a great job, and he comes over, hey, what happened to that play? He wants to answer because he thinks we should – hit on every play, which I honestly, personally, as O-line, think we should. So I don't think it's more that he's hard on us. He just knows we have the talent and ability to do stuff that other teams can't, you know. So every play call, you know, every time he calls a play, it's that's the one, you know. So he wants to know what happened with the one that he did call that just didn't work or that, you know, didn't pop. So
Right.
I wouldn't say it's tough love on the sideline, but you look back at it, it's every play is a play that he calls in. It should pop, you know. So he wants to know the answer or what's going on, what happened to this, you know, and we always have an answer for him, whether it's, hey, we missed this, whether we missed that, or we got this, we can do this, you know.
Gotta love a coach that wants to keep everybody accountable, and that's why you have success and everybody's got their part. So you guys are doing that. Ed, what do you got for Kelly McPeck? I've got more for him, so I know you're loaded up with a good question here.
Yeah, Kel, first off, congratulations on a comeback victory, the greatest comeback in ACU history today against your most hated rival in their building, coming back from 28-7 down. As a player, just take us through what was going through your mind and everybody else's mind on the sidelines as you were down in the first half. It wasn't the best first half, but that second half, 38-7, just a blitz from an offense, from everything just worked so well in that second half and led you guys to victory.
Personally, I was pretty upset going into halftime, you know, being down 21. But the locker room was different. I don't know if coach saw it, or I even walked outside of the locker room because I wanted to see what the coaches were thinking. Because I walked in and it was like 21's nothing, you know. In college football, 21 points isn't anything. We can come back, and everybody had that head on their shoulders. It honestly brought us together. It was crazy. I've never, you know, being down 21 on other football teams, usually walk in there and it's kind of hanging your head, but the defense gets together. Hey, we can't let them score again. The offense got together, and O-line, let's figure it out. You know, running backs, the running back group is amazing. You know, there's 4 or 5 of them rotating, and not one of them's complaining the whole time. So the locker room at halftime, you think it would be down and sad and stuff like that, but I even seen a smile on Bowen's face because I came out and I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "What's up, man?" And I was just like, "No, I just want to be around you guys." it was just, it was.
There was a sense of calm in that locker room. That's a confident football team, and that bodes well and speaks well for everybody involved, from all the players to all the coaches. That's a wonderful feeling to have.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. It was great. I went to the defense. They shook my hand and said, "Hey, pick this guy up, pick that guy up," because they see everything we do. So, hey, you got to pick this guy up. You got to pick that guy up. And the defense was right behind us the whole time. Our defense has been playing. You know, maybe it didn't show in the first half, but they played out of their mind the second half.
Kelly, what's that chemistry like that you share with those linemen and in that offensive lineman room? You've got next to you play with Matt Tota and then Ryan Vanderwerf, and then the other guys, Jesus Reyna, Luke Verbalitis. You've got a lot of talent there, and it seems like, as Coach Bowen alluded to earlier in this conversation, that there's a lot of solid play up front, and the cohesion's there, the chemistry is fantastic, and you guys are gelling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We go to dinner 2 or 3 times a night together. We have a group message. We're texting each other on the weekends. I got actually a couple of linemen coming over because we're going to get the UFC fights soon. So they're coming over, you know, hang out, watch the fights. And it's whether win or lose, this would happen tonight too. So, you know, we're very, very close with each other. And I think it's just different. We tell each other, you know, when something's going on in our heads or something like that, we're able to talk to each other. And spiritually, it's been very close lately, you know, getting along with each other.
Phenomenal.
Kel, I know it's so disappointing to lose Tyler Duncan for the season and then having to transition to a new quarterback in Shea Morales. Was the transition kind of tricky going from Duncan to Morales, 2 totally different quarterbacks, or was it kind of it's so far it seems like a smooth transition because you're 3-0 with Shea at the helm?
It was difficult at first just because Tyler could do everything. You know, the guy was a running back who could throw the ball very well. He can move. He can make plays on his feet. Even when the O-line had a bad situation, he could make it good, whether it was gaining 1 yard or 50 yards. So when Shea came in, we kind of just looked at him. We're playing Langston. It was like, and it wasn't like we were up by anything. Just kind of looked at him like, hey, man, it's your job now. And it helped that, I mean, Tyler Duncan could have easily went to the hospital when he got it checked, but the guy stood on the sideline the whole time and coached Shea through it the whole game. And he was there against OPSU, and then he was there again today just to calm nerves and stuff like that. The guy's just an amazing leader. So I think Shea's picking it up, step by step. And he knows we're there to support him 100% of the way.
Just great stuff. I couldn't agree more about Tyler Duncan. To see him down there on the field, banged up as he is, and he's still helping out, whether he's helping out getting calls in or just talking to Shea Morales and working through things. Just like you say, just tremendous leadership. Coach has got, and his staff, Coach Crack, and these guys, and the passing game coordinator, Sean Cooper, these guys have just been really tremendous working with these players and getting them ready to play football games. Coach, want to go back to the game just a little bit here. John Cole, I mean, we're going to run out of superlatives for this guy. I mean, number 7, Johnny Cole, is just sensational. He gives you a lot of confidence as well, and it's nice to have a target that can literally take the top off, going over the top, going deep, and then he can take a slant or a screen and take it to the house too. What's it like having that kind of a weapon, Coach?
Well, John's obviously special. I mean, he's done some really big things for us. It forces defense to do things different. Ottawa had to do some different things, trying to bracket over and under on him when we isolated. So we had to do some other things. But John's going to make plays, and he's one of the best I've ever coached on a 50-50 ball. You usually don't think a guy that's 5'9", 165 pounds is going to win a lot of 50-50 ball action on the outside. But the guy just makes plays. He's ultra competitive. And when he keeps his head on straight, he's a phenomenal football player. So obviously, he became our all-time leading yardage receiver in ACU history today. So
that's good knowledge right there, Coach.
Yeah, it's nice to have John, and and the other guys are contributing well, because that's the beauty of us. You want to take one, we'll take the others, and so they're all contributing. Like I said, 11 guys caught balls today. So, John's obviously a key guy for us, but the other guys are really coming through also.
Coach, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm sorry, Kevin.
No, I just said weapons galore.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about those weapons, Coach. It's amazing how you can plug in a guy like a Tyrese Golar, or Cole Davis, Alex York, and others, and they just pick up like it's like they've been on the team for at least 4 years, but they just pick up like they've been veterans in this offense, in this system. What did you see in all of these young men, Coach, that you believed in them, that you can put them in and know that they're just going to pick up and just contribute immediately?
I'd like to say we have some magical formula for that, but we don't. We're just trying to find good football players with good character, and then coach them up. And those 2 young men came in, and they love the game of football, and that's the biggest thing. They love to be coached. They love the game of football, and they're my type of backs. I mean, all of them are, but those 2 guys came in, and I said, hey, I'm looking for downhill, go get some, and turn 3 into 30, or go get 6 points, but make sure I get the 3. And they're just tough guys. I'll take a little credit for part of the recruiting on them, but Coop did a great job with them, and we were able to get them in with us, and we're excited to have them both.
Speaking of tough guys, let's talk about Nestor Higuera. What's it like running out Nestor Chacala, La Chacala, we call him last year? Nestor he's a folk hero on campus. He's a ton of fun to roll out there, and boy, does he have one special leg.
He's nothing. The moment is not going to get to him, and we've put him in some moments. Like today, we really needed some. They have a really good returner in Moreland. He's the special teams player of the year 2 years ago. Before he got hurt last year, he was putting up huge numbers, and we wanted to put the ball in certain areas on the kickoff team, and Nestor was lights out, and our kickoff coverage was phenomenal today. And then when we throw him out there, extra points, field goals, it doesn't matter. There's not a moment too big for him. He's a clutch kid. He's gonna come through for us.
Great word. He's clutch, no doubt about it.
Love the guy.
Yes, he is. Kel, 527 yards today against OUAZ. 254 of that is on the ground. How proud are you as one of the 5 big guys up front that contributed to over 250 yards rushing against Ottawa?
We love it. I mean, we're already in our O-line group message talking about it. It's, the crazy part is we thought we could add more too. We thought we left some drives out there. But yeah, the rushing numbers are great, like amazing. But as an old lineman, I've never been around a group of guys that just cares about the team and winning. I mean, we didn't have our best performance. I think it was against Langston. We won the game, and that was what we were proud of. So we're all about the team. It's hammered into us every day. But seeing 200 and 254 is just incredible. Like it's something we're going to feel good about on Monday too, because we have our team meeting. It's going to be amazing.
Coach, 5-1, that start. I think that's the second best start.
6-1.
Excuse me.
6-1.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was looking at my notes, hadn't updated those yet. 6-1. That's got to be right up there in one of the best starts in program history.
It is the best record at 7 games in ACU history, and I'm real proud of the guys. We had a team that was 6-1. 5-1 before, but these guys are now 6-1. So they're responding well. They're doing a lot of good things. We're growing. It's not perfect. We had a lot of bumps on the road this week, just as a team, just in areas that we felt like we needed to grow in and just mature in, and it showed out on the field today. Our guys responded well, not only to being down, but just the adversity on the field and holding their composure and things like that, and not putting us in bad situations was huge. And it's one of the reasons we were able to come back and win the football game, is because we were level-headed. We were mature about what we were doing and how we were doing it.
Sound. It was fundamental, and it was incredible to watch from afar. My last one for you guys is when you look at the opportunity to be undefeated in February, how bizarre is that? Undefeated. You've never lost in February, and right now you're also at the top of the Sooner Athletic Conference. You're undefeated there at 3-0. That's just got to be a tremendous feeling right now with a lot of unfinished business.
Well, you want to control what you can control, and we've done that. So in a 7-month football season, it sounds kind of crazy, but we're in a good position, and we just got to keep. It's all the cliches. Got to get better each week, but we talk about it all the time. Playing for an audience of one, wins will take care of themselves if we're doing everything right, trusting in Jesus, and being the young men that we talk about all the time and what we want for them and for their future. And it starts on the football field. As crazy as it sounds, as cliche as it sounds, but football is like life, and if they can handle the things that are put in front of them on a football field, then they're going to be successful in life. And we've been able to respond to a lot of different situations this year so far.
Magnificent, Ed. What do you got?
Coach and Kel, can you speak to the importance of having ACU Firestorm Field on Saturday against Lyon? Will be your 4th home game already there. So many great things are happening on the campus of Arizona Christian, but having your own football field, it's just a magnificent facility. Just speak to the importance of having that and having that home field advantage.
Go ahead, Kel.
It's hard to speak on. It's amazing. Not having to drive or even just practices. That's where it all starts, is just being right on campus. We did get a lot more done, and the ACU fans definitely. It's nice to have our fans there, and it's a huge home field advantage. You can feel the energy in the air. There's some stuff we need to fix here and there, but yeah, it's amazing.
Coach, your thoughts?
I tell you, props to President Len Munsell and his vision of what he wanted to do with this university and use athletics to expand our university. If you look where this university was, 10 years ago and then 7 years ago, when we brought football on, to where it is now, it's absolutely phenomenal. The growth of the university, and when this building project is done for athletics, I mean, by the end of March, we'll have the softball field in, and we'll have our auxiliary football / soccer practice field in. Then they'll be doing the soccer stadium and the baseball stadium. It's going to be, there's not going to be anything like it. It's going to be one of the top facilities in the country. And, my flesh wants to say, told you guys this was going to happen, when people were doubting and wondering really where we were going to go as a football program. But it's such a neat feeling to watch what's happening, and the vibe with the student body and the teams and just the synergy around this university right now is something really special. And I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Coach, my Firestorm basketball team, they're humming. They're humming right now.
I talked with Coach Rudder today. He was congratulating me on the Ottawa win, and I'm like, hey man, let's go get a national championship in basketball. They're phenomenal. I've watched them play, been able to watch them play a couple times this year, and they're just crazy good. So I'm really excited to see what kind of damage they do in the tournament this year.
Hey, Ed, I got one more for the coach and for Kelly. Hey, we talk national championship. I know we got to keep things in perspective, and we're gonna keep it one at a time. But there's a path here, Coach. There's a means in this tournament. That's why you elected to play right now in February and play this 6-game slate in the Sooner Athletic Conference. Maybe this is the year that ACU is going to qualify for that second season. I know that's the goal.
It is. I mean, everybody has goals and aspirations when you start the season of being a conference champion and making the national tournament. I mean, only 16 teams. There's 12 leagues, and only 16 teams go across the whole country. So it's a special thing if you can make the football tournament. And we're going to do everything in our power to prepare the guys and give them the best chance every Saturday. And when we're done at the beginning of April, it would be really nice if we had our first team into the tournament.
Awesome. Ed,
thanks
so much for putting this together. Kelly McPeck, thank you for being our guest. JB, we got to do this again. We'll check in again this week. I'm hoping Tuesdays we can have like a 10 or 15-minute call like this, something like this, just to stay in the loop with you and your staff. Miraculous win. What a comeback, one for the ages, and so many people to celebrate this with. And hopefully you guys enjoy this one. It was so well-deserved. What a great win for your program and all those guys that put in the blood, sweat, and tears during the week. Yeah,
it was phenomenal. I'm proud of my guys. Can't say enough about how they responded this week to some adversity, and I'm just really proud of them. And, we'll get ready for Lion. We'll enjoy this one for the weekend, and then we'll start getting ready for Lion and, roll Storm. Let's go get it again.
We'll see you guys on Saturday, no doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
Roll Storm.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Buddy.
Thanks, Kel.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Ed Cole, my man, great stuff. Great questions from you. Great to talk with Jeff Bowen, a tremendous coach. Been at the program for 7 years. This is his 5th year as the front man, and we talk about that depth and what this victory means to beat the crosstowners, to come back and do it the way that they did, to have that sense of calm at halftime, to have that sense of belief that doesn't matter what happens, we're going to go out there, make enough plays, and battle adversity and come through with a dub, 6-1, best start in program history, and they're breaking records to boot at the same time.
Kevin, it's just amazing how in the midst of everything that's going on with a pandemic, and they had to suspend the season basically from November until February, and they come back and they're on absolute fire, KD. They go to OUAZ, their most heated rival. They go to Surprise. They're down 28-7. They absolutely destroy them in their own building, 38-7 in the second half. That just speaks to the belief that everybody has in each other, KD, from the coaching staff believes in the players believe in the coaching staff. There's nothing, they believe there's nothing that they can accomplish as a football team. And when a football team believes that way, they're dangerous.
Yes, sir. You talk about a surprise, Ed. You mentioned surprise, and then I think ACU went to surprise, and they crushed the spirit, no pun intended, against Ottawa, and they did it in come from behind fashion on their field, in their stadium that didn't allow any fans. I thought that was kind of interesting, a little fodder right there. But of course, we've had fun with their broadcast group over the years. But man, that would have been fun to be a part of, Ed, today. But we got one next week, and this is going to be a good time watching this winning program do their thing on Saturdays.
Yes, but of course, Coach Bowen is not satisfied with anything. There's a lot of things he's going to watch on tape. He's going to get his kids together. They're going to watch a lot of tape this week and get some good practices in, because Lyon's going to come in on Saturday, and they can't take anybody for granted. They can't look past Lyon toward the future. They can't look for anything but other than the opponent that they have next Saturday at ACU football field. We know the place is going to be packed social distancing wise, but what a great home field advantage that Coach Bowen and Kelly McPeck talked about. It's a great atmosphere there, and they just have to continue to keep on winning. Hopefully push that record to 7-1 KD and just keep marching toward the second season.
Yeah, JB said it best, right? It's about that vision of President Munsell. That's impressive. Just the idea, and to see that growth, to see that vision, to see the fields become something. And right now, like you say, opportunity knocks next week, another Sooner Athletic Conference game against Lyon, and it's just going to be unreal. How about the depth they're creating in that quarterback room with Tyler Duncan on the shelf? Now Shea Morales has emerged. That's just making this football team better all across the board.
It is. And Kevin, for them to be able to run for almost 260 yards, what that does for the passing game, again, it opens up the play action. And now Shea Morales has got that many more weapons. He doesn't feel like he has all the pressure on him to do anything from a passing standpoint, because you've got Tyrese Golar. Last week, you've got the SAC Offensive Player of the Week in Cole Davis. He had 138 yards rushing last week against OPSU, 57 yards on Saturday against OUAZ, a touchdown rush for him. Golar had a touchdown rush. Alex York had a touchdown rush, and Alex York had 91 yards receiving and a touchdown there. So, yeah, Alex York, 2 touchdowns on Saturday against Ottawa. There's so many different weapons, and these are all new young kids integrated into this offense, Kevin.
And, of course, Aiden Quinn became the all-time leader in scoring touchdowns for ACU a couple weeks back. They got a strong room that we mentioned. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys grow up, and they're playing in bigger games as we move along down the road here.
Yeah, and Coach talked about 11 different receivers caught passes against Ottawa, Kevin. We didn't even talk about Malik Patterson or Zach Cullup or Sid Turnbull Frazier or Derek Anderson. There's so many names. It seems like it's limitless, the amount of talent that Coach Bowen has offensively.
That's what it's all about. That's what they've done. They built the program, and they took care of business on the road at Ottawa. That's what this show was all about. That's what this podcast was all about, is to recognize those ACU Firestorm football players and that entire program. Again, 1 through 150 all across the board, the coaches, the parents, the student body, everybody associated with ACU football. This one's for you. And hey, they're going to enjoy it, like Coach B said, and they're going to get back to work on Monday.
Absolutely. Celebrate it for the weekend, but come Monday, as you say, KD, it's time to get back to work. Time to hit that film, time to hit that football field and practice, get better, and get ready for a Lion on Saturday. 2
shout-outs. One to Riley Tucker. We're thinking about you, Riley. We're praying for you, you and your family. You balled out today. Absolutely. You showed up and you showed out, and you were a game changer out there like you are on a weekly basis. And then Johnny Cole, you continue to break records. You are now second all-time in scoring touchdowns at ACU, second all-time in receiving yardage. And when it's all said and done, you might have the most receptions out of anybody as well. Just phenomenal. Congratulations to the entire ACU football program on a job well done. And Ed Cole, same thing, baby. Congratulations to you. We'll catch you next Saturday, huh?
Yes, congratulations. I can't wait to see you up in the broadcast booth for another broadcast from ACU Football Field. Great vantage point. You and I have so much fun doing the broadcast, and we're looking for another victory. Push that record to 7-1 and keep on charging. Go Storm.
Let's get a dub. Roll Storm. Thank you and good night.